Welcome to today's webinar presented by supercoder.com. Supercoder.com is an online coding solution offering Part A and B coding reference tools, resources, and not more than 30 specialty coding and compliance newsletters from the Coding Institute in one site. I hope you enjoy this short session.
In the past, the way the coding system was set up, it appeared that only physicians could bill some of these E&M services. Well, that's no longer true. So the other thing they've changed in these codes, in addition to mentioning now qualified healthcare professionals, is to make it clear that particularly for E&M codes that have a time component and or allow counseling coordination of care to dominate the visit, that time applies to the qualified health professional, not just the physician. So you want to keep that one in mind. What you also want to realize, though, is that there will be some payers who will not accept billing these E&M services by health professionals other than the ones they have certified, nor allow them to bill at higher levels of services. For instance, we know that a 99211 is always considered the nurse-only code, and this particular code is probably not going to change for billing purposes for most payers. So if it's an RN or an LPN or an MA, they'll never be able to bill above a 9211 and not the other types of E&M services. As I said, they removed the physician reference from the time component of the E&M codes. And so now, instead of saying physicians typically spend, it's a passive sentence, typically 10 minutes are spent, etc. So you kind of get the idea. They expanded this definition just not on the regular E&M codes, but everywhere that it applies. And so I've given you a list of some codes that this actually applies to. Starting with 99288, which is EMS services. All the telephone evaluation and management service codes also now apply not just to physicians, but other qualified healthcare professionals. I know this is painful for you guys, and I'm sorry. And so the only thing that has changed is just references who can provide the service. But in fact, the criteria for billing, for instance, a telephone evaluation, has not changed. The patient still has to initiate the service. And those elements still need to be there. We've also had the same change made, not just for telephone, but online evaluation. In other words, the patient contacting the physician via email, hopefully protected email. The term physician was also removed from several E&M codes, for instance, standby service, which used to read physician standby service, and now it's just standby service by anyone who is qualified to give it. And in some hospitals, a certified nurse midwife would be qualified to provide that that standby service, say, standby for a potentially sick newborn. These changes continue to go into the supervision of a patient under the care of a home health agency. They again removed the term physician and are now referring it to the development and revision of care plans by that individual. In other words, the individual who is doing the supervising. It goes on to the hospice codes as well, 99377 to 99378, same type of wording change. Nursing facility, same type of wording change, ad nauseum. Anyway, you get the idea.
Supercoder is the fastest growing online reference tool with more than 25,000 subscribers. Call 866-228-9252 to get a free product demo or sign up at supercoder.com for a 7-day free trial.